Recording in progress.
All right, good morning, everybody. Today is Daf Mem Beis. So we got to the parak. No, Eddie, your food is here. Eddie, you left your stuff you brought in. Here, go get a sledgehammer. You guys want to get back here? So you can put it back when.
3 weeks or 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
That's 2 weeks
this is
ago.
dinner, this is lunch, this is. Maybe if it's brought in here, it should be brought back to the kitchen.
Any state will have to take it all back.
All right,
No, I will be waiting here when you get back.
I hope not.
Stop being moved once you move it.
Yalla, fight.
All right, start over. All
Let's
right.
go.
You rushed in a little bit. All right. Today is Daf Mem Beis. Maseches Sota.
Minnesota.
Sota, everyone got your glasses.
Good morning, I can morning.
All right, Mashuch Muhammad. So the Mishnah, Naya Mishnah. Mashuch Muhammad b'shash medaber la'am. I'll take a shot.
Herring in the house.
Here. Mashuch Muhammad b'shash medaber la'am. So when Mashuch Muhammad, so when the Kohen who was anointed to go ahead and basically speak to the nation prior to battle, when he goes to speak to the people, he would speak Lashon HaKodesh, as the pasuk says, so it says over there when you come close to battle, and then the Kohen approaches, and that is that is the Kohen who is anointed specifically for the wars. And it says speak to the people, and that is only B'Lashon HaKodesh, not any other language. And he tells them Shema Yisrael v'chulei, and so the Gemara will explain all this. And aloi veichem v'lo yachechem, and that's which I speak to you is about your enemies, the Goyim, and not your fellow brethren. Lo Yehuda al Shimon, not if there was a war, right, between Yehuda and Shimon, v'lo Shimon al Binyamin, or other Shvatim with one another. Shivil biyadam, yirachma aleichem, because if you fall to your brethren's hand, then they'll have mercy upon you. Kamash Namar, as the pasuk says, brings the psukim from Divrei Yamim. It says ve'kum anashim asher niglu v'shmaz ve'chasakil b'shivya v'kol merameim hilbishu. So it says over there, well, then they went against them and they were captured, and those who were without clothes. That they went ahead, and those without clothes, they dressed them. And it says over there that they gave them to eat and drink, and they anointed them, and they set them on their donkeys, and they sent them back safely. They returned them to their families in the Shomer. So you see over there that a war or a battle between the Shvat and Israel, they have mercy upon one another. However, but now you are going against your enemies. You fall in their hands. They'll not have mercy upon you. And it says, so then there's there's 4 lashonos of that they shouldn't be scared and not have their hearts melt and don't shake. So it says over there, that they should not, they should not be faint of heart, right? Because of the noises from the hooves of the horses, and the shininess from the swords. Altiru, and don't be scared. Mipnei hagavas trisim v'shipas hakalagsin, and also don't be scared from the banging of the shields and the amount of soldiers. Don't have trepidation. We call kronos from the sounds of their battle, their horns, right? And also don't be scared of that which they go out and they yell upon you, the noise for them. Don't be broken from that. Because Hashem, God walks with you in front of him. They come with the strength of a king of flesh and blood. However, you guys come with the Kodesh Baruch Hu battling for you. The Plishtim came, and they battled behind Goliath. And Maya Safa, and what was his end? So the Seif Nava B'cherev, he fell to the sword. V'naf Lamo, and then his people also fell. And Bnei Ammon and those of Ammon, Bo b'yitzchono shel Shovech, the people of Ammon, they were behind their Shovech, who was their warrior. Maya Safa, what was his end? The Seif Nava B'cherev, he also was killed by this sword. V'naf Lamo, and then his nation fell. V'atem, however, you guys. You're not like this. The Hashem goes over here, wages your battles. This is referring to the Aron that would go out in battle, that would lead them in battle, as opposed to depending on a warrior of flesh and blood. So that was the Mishnah. Zog the Gemara, my Komar. What's the first lashon b'lashon what's going on here? Hachin Komar Shnamar. The pasuk says v'daber. It says over there by the Mashuv Mechama v'daber. Lo Aimer. It says over there by giving the Torah Ma'ished daber v'elkim yanen b'kol. That right there was given b'kol. Ma lo b'lashon hakodesh. Just like over there is b'lashon hakodesh. Havkam b'lashon hakodesh. So over here is b'lashon hakodesh. Tanur Rabbanan says v'digash hakoyin v'daber alav. So it says and the Kohen approaches and he speaks to the nation. Yachol kol kohen sheir. So it could be just any ordinary kohen. Tamalei, there it says if a dabru hashaytim, and also mentions over there that the officers will speak. Mashaytim b'muna, just like officers are appointed, they have a level of authority. Avkov b'muna, so to a kohen who's also a level of authority. V'im a kohen gadol. Maybe the kohen gadol himself. So the Gemara answers no. Duma the shaiter, similar to a shaiter, an officer. Mashayter sheyesh b'muna agaba. An officer, he has his boss, right? It's not just him. Right, he's appointed. There's the king of the Sav Kohen. So too, it can't be the top Kohen Gadol. It has to be someone below him. The Kohen Mashiach who has someone above him, i.e., the Kohen Gadol. Kohen Gadol Nami Ayikamelach. What about the Kohen Gadol? He is above. He's the king. So Agaba. So come on. Now we're talking about in his department, right? There is no Kohen higher than the Kohen Gadol. Yes, the Melech is over there, but it has nothing to do with the right separation of power. It has nothing to do with the Kahunim. Maybe it's the Skan, right? The Skan Kohen Gadol, right? Who we know that they used to have prepared for Yom Kippurim. So it says no, Skan Lavamuna, who the Skan is not really a appointed position, it's not a full-time position. Tyler and Amar Rabbi Chanina ben Skan Kohanim. Lamaskan, for what reason is he appointed? Only if something happens to the Kohen Gadol. Otherwise, he does nothing. So therefore, it's not really a position to send out the Skan.
It's a ceremony.
Sorry?
Yeah. Ceremonial.
Not ceremonial. If he's needed, he's going there. But so therefore, the Kohen Meshuach, so he is a different position.
Doesn't even get to break time.
All right, 4 lines in the bottom. Amar lahem Shema Yisrael tells him Shema Yisrael. Samai no Shema Yisrael. What is the Shema Yisrael? So Rabbi Yechon Mishum Rabbi Shimon Amar lahem Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael Afilu Lo Kiyamtem El Kriya Shva Shachas V'Arvis. Even if you only fulfilled the mitzvah of Kriya Shva the morning and the evening, you will not fall to their hands. So it says the pasuk, right? Don't be scared and don't shake and so on and so forth. And don't be broken. So Pamayim Medaber Imam. Twice he would speak with them. Achas B'Sefer, one by the border before they would leave. V'Yachas B'Muchama, and then once at the battle site. B'Safar at the border. Maya Oimer. What would he say? So he would say, turn the page. Shimo Divrei Marche HaMilchama V'Chazor. So he said, go ahead. And listen, whoever has to go back at this point in time before we cross the border, then go back, right? We'll soon see who's, later on, who can go back, who's not, and return. And other than that, let's move forward. The war. Then over there he says, right? So he says these 4 lashonos, which we saw in the Mishnah, right? Your heart shouldn't melt, you shouldn't be scared, you shouldn't shake, right? You shouldn't be broken. Right? And he said these 4 things, the next to offset that basically the 4 things that are done in order to create, to instill fear upon their enemies, such as Magifim, Arimim, Tzavchim, V'Reimsim, right? That is, the banging of the shields and the yelling and the shouting and the horses, all of those, cause fear into their enemies. So therefore, the Kohen Mashiach gave them, this little pep talk. Now, Goliath. So Plishtim bo b'nischuno shel Goliath. So the Plishtim, they came with the strength of their, behind the strength of the warrior Goliath. So Goliath, Amar Rabbi Yochanan Shamad B'Gili Panim Lifnei Kodesh Baruch Hu, because he stood. Why is he called Goliath? Because he stood with Gili Panim, Goliath Gili Panim before Hakadosh Baruch Hu. He with brazenness. Shnei Pasuk says, "Barucham Ish V'Yerdei," right? Choose for you an Ish, right, and come to me. Ve'inish Hakadosh Baruch Hu, and he was basically challenging God. He's Hashem. Shnei Pasuk says, "Hashem Ish Milchama," because Hashem is called Ish. And Amar Hakadosh Baruch Hu Hareinim Apilo Al Yad Ben Ish. You want to fight an Ish? I'll get you an Ish. I'll give you even the son of an Ish, and you're going to lose the son of Ish. And my pasuk says, "V'David Ben Ish Ephrat." How's that? Right. So he says. So he sent them David, who was in the pasuk was referenced as Ben Ish. And Amar Rabbi Yochanan B'Shimon Meir B'Shloshim Mekaymes Lachdu Apiv La'isa Rasha. So 3 times, 3 places, basically. This Russia, Goliath, right, basically fulfilled his own prophecy. So Echad says Echad Baruch Lachem Ish V'Yerdei, right? Go choose for you a man, and he'll come upon me, right? So in other words, and that was poetic justice. He'll come upon me. Indeed, he came upon you. No, he wasn't saying it. He didn't think it would really happen. Another one is right. If you can find someone who goes ahead and to smite me, right, and he'll get me, right. So he was challenging him, and that occurred. He said to the covenant, right? What am I, a dog? Did he come to me with a stick? So Gemara asks, David Nami Amar Le Ato Bailai B'Cherev B'Chanes V'Chidon. So David also said, right, you're coming to to kill me, with the sword and all these weapons. And also David saying you're coming to kill me. So why isn't that considered to be like prophecy, right? So Hadar Alesi says no, because that wasn't his full sentence. Afterwards he says, "V'anochi ba'yelecha b'shem Hashem tzavakos b'elokei ma'arachas Yisrael asher charachta." Right. So he said no, because I come to you, b'shem Hashem. Right, and he, who you went ahead and you were, macharif, right? You blasphemed. Vayigash haplishti hashke ba'erev. So he says that the plishti, the Goliath, came in the mornings and the nights, looking for problems. So why that? So in other words, he knew a little bit about the Jews. He knew that they tried to be mevatel, right? The Kriya Shav morning and night. And then he was there for 40 days. He's waiting for 40 days. Right? So the 40 days, they didn't get the Torah yet. So therefore, maybe the 40 days tried to offset the Mount Torah. It says over there, and this is the beginning. Yeah, so it says Ish Habanim. Habeinayim. No Nakudas am I going? Fine. I'm sorry? Yeah, you're right. Prove me I'm wrong, right? Yeah.
Rabbi, you're great.
So what does it mean? My Beinayim. What does it mean they called him Ish HaBeinayim? Samarav Shemavuna Mikol Mum. He was clean of any blemish. Shmuel Omar, Beinoni, Shebachiv. Goliath, yeah. He was only like the middle of his brothers. He wasn't even the biggest, wasn't the smallest, he was like the middle. And then you have Shiloh Marshu Asu Kabinyan. He was built like a building. He was big, built like a house. Yeah. And Rabbi Yochanan Amar Bar Meya Papi V'Chada Nani. Right. He basically came from Beinayim. In other words, he came from many banim. He was like many sons, basically. His mother was with many men on one evening, and he was conceived and through the combination of all the men.
It was Ruth and sister-in-law.
Orpah. Orpah, we'll see. Let's see. The Goliath Shemo Amigas, and Goliath was his name from Gas. The Tani Rav Yosef Shakol Doshin as Imo Kagas, right? So it says why. What does it mean from Gas? Right, that his mother was like I guess the press. Everyone would press upon her. Right, this is I guess being mezalzel the behavior of his mother. And furthermore, it says about regarding Ksiv Ma'arais Vikarinan Ma'arachais. Right, so the pasuk over there says Ma'aros, but you actually pronounce it Ma'arachais. So what's Ma'ara? Tana Rav Yosef Shakol Haru Be'ibai. Everyone had relations with his mother. Ksiv Harpa, Ksiv Arpa. Right, it says one time Harpa, and then another time it says Arpa. Harafa, and it says Arpa. So Rav Shmuel Chad Omar Harafa Shemo. V'lamin Shema Arpa. Shakol Arfin Oisa Me'achreha. Right, they would go ahead and sodomize her from behind. Chadomar Arpa Shema. Her name was Arpa. Nikra Shema Harafa. Shakol Dashan Asa Karifas. Everyone would go ahead and press upon her like crushed grain. And similarly, we have this pasuk of harifas that are referring to crushing grain. It says vaticharisha vatifresh hamasach al pnei be'er vatishach aleh harifas. It says up there that she spread upon there, right, all of the on the cover all the crushed kernels. You can say mihacha, or another pasuk says im tichtaish as a avil the machtesh the seich harifas bailai. So if you go ahead and you take a full with a mortar, then the crushed kernels, you'll have that with the pestle. So you see over there also another lashon of crushing. That's our boys. Ayla Yodul.
She was
Yeah.
He said she was unusual.
So v'es our boss Ayla Yodul lahara. You'll do laharafa begas. And so it says these four sons were born to Harafa in Gas. Veipu b'yad David, and they fell to the hands of David. B'yad of David, and in the hands of his servants. So my knew, and who were they? So the pasuk over there actually recognizes Rav Chizda, Saf, Umadon, Golias, V'yeshe B'nov. Those are their four names. Avish B'nov. By safe travels.
Safe travel there.
Veipu b'yad David. Uviyad Avdav, and they fell, right? Goliath and brothers, they fell to David and his servants. The pasuk says, "Vatishak Arpa lechamaisa v'Rus dafkuba." Right, so it says, and Arpa kissed her mother-in-law, basically said adios, and Rus clung to her. So Rabbi Yitzchak Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu Yavo b'nei Anashuka v'Yipol b'yad b'nei Adavuka. Let those the children of she who kissed her mother-in-law, i.e. Arpa, let them fall to the hands of to the descendants of those that cleave to their mother-in-law, i.e. the descendants of Rus.
That means David killed his first cousin.
No.
But it was many generations, I think, from Rus. And Dorash Rabba, B'schar Arba Demois, Shari the Arpa Achamaisa Zachsa v'Yatzav Mena Arba Gibor. For the reward. For the I guess the tears that Arpa shed for her mother-in-law, so she was zeicha at least to have 4 warriors to come from her. Shinamar v'zeina kailon v'haitiv kena od. So it says over there, and she raised her voice and she cried again. So cried is both eyes, so that's 2 tears od, and she cried again. So crying 2 times, 2 plus 2 is 4. Ksiv chetz chanisa. So it says over there, chetz referred to the shaft of his, I guess, his arrow. The queen eitz, and it's called eitz. Right, it's pronounced eitz, not chetz. So eitz chaniso. So why is that? So Amar Rabbi Elazar adayin lo higiu lechatzi shivcho shel Isa Rasha. Right. So the word chetz, by the way it's written, is referring to chatzi. We're only telling you half of his qualities. In other words, he was that much more, greater in physical stature, impressive than we described. So mekan shel sapir b'shivcho shel Rashayim. So over here we see that one should not go ahead and praise Rishayim. Okay, so why don't you say nothing? Why do you got to say how big he was? In order to give you the praise of David, right? If David was able to go ahead and take him down, so therefore to give you all the much more impressive that which David did. And then we say Bnei Ammon so Bnei Ammon, so they went ahead and they went to war behind their warrior Shevech. So Shevech. Shefech, right? So one place is written with the vase, other one the afei. So Rav Shmuel Chadoma Shefech Shemo. One says Shefech is name. Lamika Shemo Shefech. Why is he called Shefech? Shasu Shefech. Because Shefech means like a dovecote, right? He's as large as a dovecote. The Chadoma Shefech Shemo. No, his name was Shefech. Lamika Shemo Shefech. Why is it called Shefech? Shekol Aroya So Nishbach Lefanav Kikitan. Right? Whoever sees them, their heart melts. They get so scared. They're like pours out like water. It says Ashpasuk Kever Pasuach Kulam Gibarim. So it says Ashpasuk Kever, right? So what does that mean, right? Ashpasuk Kever. So Rav Shmuel, so Macholis Rav Shmuel. Some say Rav Amir Rabasi. Chad Omar V'Shash Zerkin Chaitz Eisin Ashpasos. Right? When they go ahead and shoot an arrow, right? It goes through many men, and it kills it gets them all.
Or bullet.
Or a bullet. Well, this is Chaitz Zerkin Chaitz, right? Shel right? You know, piles and piles of chalalim. The Shema Tema Shumnim B'Kerev. So maybe you say, okay, they're good archers, right? They're nothing to do with their physical status. And therefore it says they were all warriors. When they have to go to the bathroom, they will go ahead and make mounds of feces. Maybe they have some sort of intestinal issue. So therefore it says kilon giborim. Therefore it says kilon giborim. No, it has to do with their large size. And Amarav Maris says Maris Mamino Hayman the Nafish Zivle Cholemeayim. A person who has a lot of excrement. So he has an intestinal issue. Something with Salamai Nafkamin. So what's Nafkamino? Lichach benafshe. In order for him to go ahead and get it, go ahead and see a doctor. And it says, Daga belev ish yashchena. So it says over there that a person's heart, if he worries, then he should go yashchena, he should make it go away. So he should render it. So Rabbi he should do it, himself. He should, think about, okay, this shouldn't bother me. I shouldn't be concerned. He should go ahead and go to others and have the others go ahead and help them. Yesichena. All right, we'll stop here at the two dots.